Why don't we start off, just tell everybody again who you are and your company and a little bit about what y'all do.
I'm Pat Bode. I go by Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Actually, Patrick, I'm sorry. With Reed Hurst Trucking, I'm the company safety manager, as well as I manage one of our terminals in Price, Utah. Reed Hurst is we're a smaller company. We got about 70 drivers. We specialize in hauling hazmat, more specific, cryogenics, liquid CO2, liquid natural gas is our two primary. And then we also do some tanker work, either sulfuric, caustic acid, NaSH. We even haul some emulsion for our Wyoming operations. So mostly hazmat and cryogenics.
Okay, great, thanks, Pat. Before you started using Infinit-I, what did you think about online training? Did you have a perception about it?
My perception was I thought it was great. I've been with the company about 5 years, and it was a platform. We have 4 terminals, and we got some drivers that run outside those terminals that never really see a terminal. And after I really kind of got my feet wet with the company and the safety program, we started looking at some options, and we wanted to go to some kind of online format to make it easier. We found one of my goals in identifying our downfalls was our training. How do we get required training without flying a guy in to a terminal just for the training? So really didn't have, we knew we wanted to go that way. I didn't really have a perception one way or the other. But the big thing for us was looking at online training to be able to get to everybody. When I started my research, it was the 1st of January in 2013. Looked at Kellar, looked at ProTread, several other companies. And actually, we were leaning towards one of the other ones until somebody said, hey, check out Infinit-I. And got a hold of Vertical Alliance, talked to the account rep, and they said, well, don't take my word for it. Here's a couple people, call them and see what they think. And it was actually calling one of their customers, and the guy, the safety director, saying, you know what's great is all my videos I have at the office here, I can upload and show them. It's like, what? Yeah, you can upload all your own videos that you already have in your library. It's like, well, ProTread, you know, all these other companies want me strictly to use their stuff, and that was really the point.
Awesome. So what's your primary usage for Infinit-I? Is it just safety training? Use it for orientation? What kind of areas?
Primarily for safety training. We do use it for orientation now. I do all my orientation, so pretty much all my required video training is done. Our orientation beforehand was 4 to 5 days in the office, and now it's down to 2 days.
That's awesome.
So.
Did you have any concerns about starting online training? If you did, what were those?
I really didn't have any concerns. Like I said, we identified that as a direction that we needed to go, and you know, so we knew we wanted to do it. It was just who we were going to do it with.
Okay. Great. Any questions in your all's mind? Yes, sir.
What was your biggest learning curve?
How to get it out to all my drivers. We have, our first challenge was how do we make sure everybody has accessibility to do it. We have some drivers that are of older generation, still have flip phones, don't even own a computer, don't really understand how to use a computer. And you know, the way we overcame that was making sure that we had terminals or computers assigned at each terminal that guys can come in and use, and somebody at all the terminal managers can sit down with them, show them how to use it, how to get on. I set up links right on the desktop. All they gotta do is Hurst training. They double click that and right into Infinit-I they go. What was really amazed me was I had a hard time at first trying to remember when talking to a driver what the website was. And finally it just started, hey, go to Google, type in Reed Hurst Trucking training, and the website comes right up.
Yeah, those pages get indexed in the search engine
Yep.
there for a while.
Yep,
That's
search
awesome.
engines, yep.
I don't know if I've asked you, do you have company drivers, independent contractors, both?
We have 97% of my fleet is company drivers. We have probably about 7 owner operators, but they follow the same guidelines and the same training just as all the company drivers.
Okay, great. In the implementation process, were there any challenges that you ran into, and how did you overcome them if there were?
That was 3 years ago. Whatever challenges we had, nothing sticks out to my mind in memory. But at the very beginning, I really relied a lot on my customer service rep. They were always right on it and helped me through anything I had.
Great. Yes, sir.
What kind of challenges did you see from trying to pull reports from and the reporting structure?
That's where I really struggled at the beginning, learning on where to go. And that again, and actually customers, hey, what reports do you want and what day of the month do you want them on? And I just get them in the email. I don't even have to go search for them anymore. Customer service rep just boom, sends them whatever reports I want. So like I said, customer service side of it is tremendous.
Good, we hear that quite a bit. Were you surprised by it? I mean, did it work better than you thought it would? Did it work worse than you thought it would?
No, it actually worked a lot better than what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a lot more time consuming, and it really ended up not being. I mean, I don't even watch the videos anymore before I assign them for the simple fact that I know the quality of the videos now. Before I used to go through and watch some of the videos, but I know the topics that I want to pick, and I go into the catalog and find the related videos, and we found them. I ran through pretty much most of the videos the first couple years. Then I started getting into trying to create my own.
Yes.
You mentioned how helpful customer service is. So when you first get started in this and you're really not sure what you do, you just turn it over to customer service and they can pretty much.
They can. I mean, they called me up, and I was really fretting about making sure I had everybody set up in the time that I'm not a typer by any means. I'm a hunt and peck kind of guy. Customer service, hey, you got a spreadsheet, send it to me, and I'll input all your guys and let you know. And it was just that easy. Sent her a spreadsheet. Within that afternoon, I got an email back. You're set up, ready to go. So.
Great. Any other questions? Yes,
What's your driver's complaints, if any? What was like the biggest adjustment for your drivers, or what did you hear most back from them to adjust?
The way we have it set up is, like I mentioned earlier this afternoon, I assign monthly training. And from the very get-go, it was 15 minutes to an hour's worth. We started out with an hour's worth of training every month. We kind of realized we were burning through our content real quick. So we kind of backed that off to 15 minutes to 30 minutes worth of training. But biggest challenge was some of the older generation drivers that didn't have the computer, don't have smartphones, making sure that they knew they had to get in and into a terminal and get it done on a computer.
It's just your normal drivers don't have any issue with it, complaints about it?
No, we have it tied into the first couple months was kind of freebies, but then we kind of came out, we tied it into their quarterly safety bonus. So it's, it's part of their bonus program, the way we have it set up.
That's good. Sounds like, do you manage the program mostly yourself, or
I
you
do.
letting client services do a lot of it?
Client services, and like I said, they have it set up to where they're sending me the reports to review.
Okay.
I have one report. I have my HR manager pull one report every payroll, before payroll, so they get paid for having it done. And that's everything else. Customer service really, that first setup with customer service, kind of getting to feel what your expectations are and what they can do for you, really kind of helps.
Yes, sir.
So basically what you're saying is if you can't figure it out, you just call customer service.
If I can't, and I was just talking to Randy about that, and I was getting some phone calls beginning of this month because I was slacking beginning of the month. But I was getting some phone calls saying, hey, are you going to assign training this month from the drivers? And I had a hard time figuring out what training I've already assigned a long time ago. So I called my customer rep up and said, hey, can you look at this? When did I last do this training? Oh, well, you did this one in July of 2014. Okay, what about this one? And so it was just, okay, I'm gonna use that. And yeah, customer service is one. If you can't figure it out, they can manipulate the program a lot quicker than I can, and they give me the answer on the phone.
That's good to know.
So you have good communication between,
Really good communication, yeah.
That's fantastic. I think you mentioned you have some custom content that you added to the system. What is that? I mean, is it documents, PowerPoints, videos?
I've done some videos. We're looking at getting into, I'm actually in the process of rewriting all of our company policies and updating them. And we're gonna put our company policies, instead of doing training for a month, we're gonna have our company policy review. And we'll put the company policies up there, have them either do 1 or 2 questions on the review of the policy, and then have that in a resource for them to.
Fantastic. Here's an interesting question. How has this impacted your job?
Saved me a lot of travel. I used to travel around quite a bit, even though all of our terminal managers are responsible kind of doing their own safety meeting. With guidelines on content, I used to always have to travel quite a bit. This really kind of reduced my travel, left me a lot of time to concentrate on other areas.
Fantastic. Any other questions in the room? All right. What do you like best about working with Vertical Lines Group?
My customer rep.
Customer rep. That's the answer we hear most of the time.
take video.
Yeah, Tanya.
That's always the response if it's not.
Yeah, Tanya's the best.
I'm pretty sure one of your drivers.
Yep.
your
Tanya Hester?
Yep.
Yeah, that's my rep.
Your customers, your drivers. Shout out to Tanya.
Oh.
She is the bomb. Like, and they're all. Tanya's wonderful, and that's who I've always dealt with the last couple of years. But everybody I've ever talked to, definitely been more than willing to help and go forward.
All right. Here's a good question. Any positive results since you started doing this? Since you
Yeah, we're in compliance now. A lot better compliance than we were 3 years ago.
Mitigated your liability.
But as far as numbers, I can say that I've probably seen a reduction in our accidents somewhat, but we also utilize some other safety programs, kind of, so I can't really tie it down into one. But it definitely has had an impact in our safety
Awesome.
and a reduction of our accidents. It's definitely, the return on investment's definitely been there.
Okay. You said you're using that quite a bit in orientation.
Yep.
Have you made any adjustments in what you're doing with orientation since you started doing that?
If I find additional video or something, or as Vertical Alliance updates their videos, if there's one better than what I've been showing. My orientation kind of started out at about 7-8 videos, and I think it's up to about 14 videos now.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
How long was your orientation and how long is it now?
My orientation was 4 to 5 days long, more leaning towards the being released to go out with a trainer on the morning of the 5th day. With having them do all their orientation videos and so forth, they come in, I have them in office for 2 days. Usually I'm putting them out with the trainer the end of the 2nd day. So really what they're doing when they come in, and one is kind of saved, we don't pay them to do the orientation videos. That's just part of a requirement as a hirement. Before you show up Monday morning, you have to have all these videos done. And so we've reduced our training costs that way, but I'm also getting the guy out 3 days faster. So they come in, they do their hard copy, DOT files, I-9s, finish up any of that documentation, and we get them out on the road. Dean?
Is the program worth the money?
Yeah, for me, it's a way to go. Like I said, you're not going to put, because the other programs we also incorporate into our orientation and through our company, I can't give you a hard figure on what our return investment is, but I can tell you that every year when I get my contract, I call up my CFO and, yep, do it, sign it. Not even a question. Don't even have to justify it to him. And he's, one of the things that we do is everybody in the company, our CEO or CFO or COO, when I assign driver training, they all get it and they do it just every month with the drivers. And so they're going through the training same way as the driver is, and for them to come, I don't even have to ask anymore. Do I need to, do you want me to renew our contract for another year? What the cost is? Nope, just do it.
Do you quiz them too?
Huh?
Do you quiz them too?
Oh, they get like I said, they're actually listed under the driver profile, so anything that gets assigned to the driver, they get assigned as well.
Fantastic. That's a great idea. That's how you build a safety culture. You get everybody involved. Any plans for anything new that you want to do with the system in the future? Any areas?
We're actually, this last month, we're starting to, all of our mechanics. I just got done in building all their profiles. So we're going to start doing mechanic-specific training. Vertical Alliance has really kind of built a good OSHA and shop training. So they're going to be based on a quarterly basis. We're going to base them on a quarterly basis, but this last month they just got lockout, tag out, air tool safety.
It's all important. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
About how long, I know it's quite subjective, Pat, but how long would it take you to get everybody up and running? And a new person coming on board, how long does it take them to get acclimated and used to the system?
To answer the first part of that, like I said, we within 90 days we had everybody pretty much on board and doing it. From 90 to 120 days, I think we had about 10 stragglers that were kind of a little bit behind, but they they'd been in the system and started it. They just weren't necessarily current. New guys, most of the drivers nowadays, when I hire somebody and I set them up in a profile and give them their sign on and everything, I really don't have, out of the last 15 drivers I've hired, I've had one say, hey, I don't even have a computer, can I do it at the library? I said, you can either go to the library or feel free to stop in the office and during business hours and you can sit here and do it. So, but I really haven't had any problems getting the drivers to acclimate into it. Been pretty seamless.
Fantastic. Any other questions from the audience?
Oh, come on, give me a hard one.
Hot seat, let's give a hard one.
Come on, Reed. What's the most important thing to you?
The most important thing is the renewing content, the new videos and keeping it fresh.
What's the hardest?
Hardest is trying to decide when I'm a set up for training next month. Like I said, I've gone through, assigning training every month. Depending on how aggressive you get at the beginning. I'm starting at the point now, and that's why it's important for me to start creating my own content. We've done some specialized videos, but just in general content on safety. Starting to create our own content now that's we're hitting some of the same topics that we've covered before, but it's just a little different twist. Yeah.
We're talking about creating a safety culture. There's 4 tenets of culture: values, beliefs, behaviors, and norms. Oh, has this really changed your drivers' norms? Are they behaving a little bit differently than they did?
I think they are. Yeah, I definitely see it. From 5 years ago when I started with the company, safety was just a word, and about the time that I hired, we really kind of was making a big push on changing our safety culture. And for the first couple years, it was still you kind of felt like safety was still just a word out there. It was used very loosely. And nowadays, you talk to a driver, and it's not uncommon for me to ask them or quiz a driver when they come into the office, hey, did you do your safety training this month? What was it on? Maybe give them my own little quiz, verbal quiz or something, but everybody's really bought into it. And I really think that now, and especially even with our CEO and CFO, they're all getting the same content, and the drivers all know that now. And it's not uncommon that somebody comes in and say, did I get mine done before Billy, which is our CEO? I said, yeah, you got it done before Billy. I haven't seen his come through yet. So
that's competitive.
Yeah, we kind of built a little competitive. Now everybody's trying to get it done before the officers of the company get it done.
The simple fact that they're calling you to find out why there isn't an assignment in the classroom tells me why.
Well, I always try to make sure my assignments are for the monthly are up by the 5th of the month, no later. And tell you what, on the 5th, by the afternoon, if they don't see training on there, I'm getting 2 or 3 phone calls.
So if somebody's on edge, whether they're going to make the decision to go with Infinit-I or not?
What was that?
If somebody's on edge to go with the decision of going with Infinit-I?
I can tell you, like I said, the thing that really swung me with Infinit-I was knowing I can make my own content. I can use videos that I've bought over the years. I can have those uploaded. I don't have to specifically use Infinit-I's videos. I can use the videos I already have. I can make my own. And know whether at the time, all the other companies I was researching at the time, that was a no-no. You couldn't do any of that. So that was definitely known that I have a platform to be able to do that with. Sold me right at that point. And now, like I said, now we're using it in a fashion. Like I said, I'm in a process right now of redoing all of our company policies, making sure they're up to date and compliant. And we're gonna use the Infinit-I platform to distribute those out to the drivers. So instead of what used to take 3-4 months, maybe to get everybody filtered through, I'll have done in a month. Have a signed document. I'll have a way to document that they've read it, they've seen it, and
Signed, dated.
yep, signed date, yep, Dean.
You can find
Or
it.
didn't have it.
If it's not signed, it's not dated, that doesn't have a name on it, and didn't do it.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Yeah.
Did you know you can call your customer service rep, she'll send you a report that tells you all the videos you have not yet assigned?
I haven't, usually it's calling her up saying which ones have I assigned, and I flip through the catalog. I actually print off my catalog and I'll go through and I'll highlight which ones I've done. So usually, good example with September coming up with brake week. I wanted to do something on brakes with brake week coming up, so I wanted to refresh brakes and DOT inspections. So finding out exactly when I last did that video, and so I wasn't just repeating myself right away. But yeah, customer service answered those questions off the get-go.
Anything else? I think we'll let you off the hook. Thank you, sir.